Did you guys hear about India plane crash? Everyone died except one man, miraculous, saved by God. Now, I'm of course going to make this colossal tragedy all about me. So, absolutely terrible plane crash right after takeoff of what should logically be one of the and safest long-haul routes in the world, India to London. Plane took off on the runway and immediately just nosedived into a residency for doctors in training, which is fucking horrible. And somehow one guy survived. I don't know how, with very minor injuries considering. The guy survived and he was just like, I don't know how I lived. I just got up and walked out. Crazy. So the reason why I personally specifically care about this, aside from that, because I obviously usually wouldn't talk about plane crashes, is that this was one of the only plane models without a hull loss incident in the entire world. The 787-9 Dreamliner. And this is the plane that takes you from Santiago to Sydney and from Auckland to Buenos Aires. So this is the plane that I always take when I go back to Australia. And now I can't take it anymore because I might die. So it's truly a tragedy. It's all about me. These people's deaths, it's all about me. It's all about its effect on me. I'm pouring one out for the Dreamliner. It's been my go-to forever. It's the only plane I've ever trusted. And the flights that this plane does, they're usually absurdly long haul. South America to New Zealand or Australia, to the one specifically from Chile to Sydney. That is a 15-hour fucking flight across the Pacific Ocean. Like this. It's such a horrible flight. God, I hate flights. It's coarse and rough and they get everywhere. Being on one of those flights in the fake pressurized in-flight environment, it's for 15 hours, it's genuinely fucking torture. But I still do it because it's the only fucking way to go back. What else am I going to do? Am I going to get a ship? How long does it even take? Is that an alternative? Okay, passenger ship South America to Australia time. How long does that take? Between 29 and 63 days. Okay, yeah, that doesn't sound like a viable alternative to me compared to 15 hours. But I hate flying, and obviously I have idiotic superstitions, even though flying is significantly safer than getting into a car. I guess part of it is that with flights, you feel like you're not in any control at all. Whereas in a car, you are in some way. Obviously, you're at the mercy of others as well, but you still have some level of control over what happens. So it doesn't feel quite as risky, I suppose, even though it's statistically way more risky. But this was one of the only long-haul aircraft that has never had a major incident of any kind. And now it has. From what I have seen, though, look, I don't know anything about aviation. I don't know anything, so just take this completely with a grain of salt. I'm speaking like a moron with no idea what he's talking about. But from what I saw, both engines lost power immediately after takeoff. What could that possibly be aside from birds, massive birds being sucked into both engines, causing catastrophic power loss at the worst possible time? Usually losing power in both engines that close to an airport wouldn't be that big of a deal because you would probably be able to land somehow, even if it's a suboptimal landing. But in this case, it's right after takeoff. And when you lose power, you have no energy. You're not going fast enough. You're not off the ground enough. So you just immediately crash and everyone dies. And the one survivor of the flight said that he heard a bang, which preceded the crash 20, 30 seconds earlier. That sounds like a bird strike to me. If it is a bird strike, then that is a freak accident. Another thing to be fucking terrified about when you're flying, obviously. Just a multitude of other things that you should be terrified about, even though those fears are largely statistically unfounded until they're not. But I guess that would technically mean it isn't, probably at least, I don't know. Maybe there's some way to mitigate bird strikes better that I don't know about, but that would at least mean it's not really a problem with the aircraft model. It's more to do with a freak accident. This is the most reliable, at least if you're a superstitious moron like me who thinks about these things too much, this was the safest long-haul aircraft model in the world, and now it has an catastrophic almost everyone on board dying accident, which is not good. And it's all about me, obviously. That's why I'm talking about my own fears regarding this. Every time I go back to Australia, it's on one of these because it's the only real option. So it's very much not good at all. The only alternative to the Air New Zealand flight that goes to Auckland and this Santiago flight that goes to Sydney is a flight from South Africa. I don't remember exactly where, but it's like South America to Cape Town and then to Perth. And then from Perth, you have to go to the east coast of Australia. Perth, which is on like the far west coast. Like that's like flying from the west coast of the US to the east coast. It takes like just as long. So it's like another long haul flight. It's not exactly very convenient compared to the direct one. So now I'm never going back ever again because I'm afraid of birds striking my engine and dying. This is the real tragedy, not the 300 people dead. It's all about me. Like I used to feel confident getting into one of these babies. I was like, okay, it's going to be 15 hours of complete and total torture with I don't know if you guys have ever been on a long haul flight. It's horrible. Like it's extremely loud. And they create like the interior, what do you call it? The hull? I don't know, what do you call it? The cabin. The cabin is like pressurized and like has like this weird artificial feeling climate. And the air just doesn't feel right. And like, it's just, it's not a good experience. But you also have to, when you're like in my situation where you're from a country that's 15 fucking hours away, you kind of forced into doing it. It's extremely annoying. Like, I don't know how people sleep on planes. I can't explain it. And now, like, added into that mess, we have a crash that happened. It's the first ever crash of this plane after like literally 15, 20 years in service or something like that, which has never ever had a major incident ever before this. But for some reason, I'm still worried now. Maybe I should get an Airbus next time. At least it's not a helicopter. Never get in a helicopter. That's all I gotta say. Anyway, you guys have to give me all your money. I don't know why people don't give me money. Like, what are you doing with your money that's more important? Like buying food?